Hey guys, quick question, have you ever seen the comic book version of me? Looks nothing like me, right? Well, I'm not alone. A lot of your favorite superheroes from the movies look nothing like they're supposed to look. Here are 10 of the absolute worst comic book to movie adaptations. Guys, before I get into it, I want to hear from you. Let me know if you agree with this list or if I completely forgot a superhero that you think should be here. Also, make sure you subscribe because we have a ton of awesome comic book, movie, TV, anime, and wrestling videos coming your way. I want to start with Wolverine because Logan is still very fresh in my mind. First off, props to Hugh Jackman for holding it down for 17 years, but there's one problem. Wolverine looks a lot different in the comics. Of course, I'm talking about Wolverine's classic costume. Tell me you wouldn't have your superhero tights if Jackman rocked the mask with that gold and blue suit. And by the way, Wolverine is much smaller in the comics. He's like just over 5 feet tall. Maybe that's why this dude was almost cast as my favorite X-Men.
You don't know how hard it is being a man, looking at a woman looking the way you do.
Thankfully, Deadpool got it right the second time around, but we can't completely forget about Ryan Reynolds' debut as Wade Wilson. Not only was he a mutant mashup with powers pulled from Wolverine, Cyclops, and Nightcrawler, but the merc with the mouth had no mouth.
Your striker finally figured out how to shut you up.
Whose bright idea was that? Let's just pretend that movie never existed. Mystique has been in 6 X-Men films, played by 3 different women. Yep, I'm counting Young Raven too.
You're not scared of me?
And one common theme between all of them, no clothes. I get it, she's a shapeshifter with blue skin, some scales, and slicked back red hair. But again, she's totally naked. In the comics, Mystique had some flawless blue skin without any of those scales, and she also opted to wear clothes. In Guardians of the Galaxy, Drax is on a quest to avenge the death of his family at the hands of Ronan the Accuser. In the books, it's actually Thanos that kills Drax and his entire family until he's resurrected to get his revenge. In the movies, he's a gray-skinned alien with limited use of the English language, but also gives really great hugs.
Do you need a hug?
No, I do not.
Oh, I thought I said no. You're welcome.
But in the comics, Drax has Hulkish green skin and a flashy purple cape. Oh, and he can also fly. Here's the film version of Hawkeye. It's Jeremy Renner in a black leather vest. Super stylish, super manly. In the comic, he is slightly more flamboyant. Okay, a lot more flamboyant. That's a lot of purple. Wait, isn't that just a purple version of Wolverine's mask? And if that isn't enough, Mr. Barton prefers a full-body spandex suit and a loincloth. At least he has his clothes on. For this one, I'm gonna do you a favor and only refer to the Dark Knight Rises version of Bane because, well, you understand. In all fairness, yes, that Bane was ridiculous, but that was a lot closer to the comics. Bane was raised in an underground prison, he broke out and got hooked on the steroid-like drug Venom. But Christopher Nolan's Bane was a little more realistic. He was a merciless terrorist who wore a dialogue-muffling mask that pumped him full of anesthetic for pain relief. Also, not a huge fan of football. He completed the look with a big fuzzy Dracula-inspired leather trench coat and an armored utility vest. I just kinda wish I could understand him a little better.
Gotham is yours. None shall interfere. Do as you please.
The Amazing Spider-Man Part 2 was filled with villains, but I want to address Rhino. Paul Giamatti played the deranged thug that put on a giant mechanized rhino-shaped suit with machine guns. I mean, that looks exactly like Transformers, no? The comic version dropped the metal in favor of a super strong polymer that is just like rhino hide. So after an intensive chemical and radioactive treatment, a poor Russian immigrant is bonded to this costume for the rest of his life. Yeah, I get it, he's much stronger and faster and he gets some money out of it, but was it really worth it? I mean, how the hell does he go pee? We've only seen trailers for Aquaman's Justice League look, but we're sold. It's more of a 1990s version than the classic original comic book Aquaman, and thank the God of the Seas because I'm not so sure even Jason Momoa could pull off that look. I mean, imagine him riding around on a giant seahorse in that bright orange and green.
Aquaman, swift and powerful monarch of the ocean.
Actually, let's not give Zack Snyder any ideas. In the comics, Galactus is a giant cosmic god who drains entire planets of energy to sustain his life force. In other words, he's powerful as f***. He also shares Hawkeye's fashion sense and rocks a rather unique helmet. It kinda reminds me of this guy.
You will
In Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer, I have no clue what they're doing. Galactus looked nothing, I repeat, nothing like the comics. Yep, a giant space cloud that was trying to swallow the Earth whole. And finally, I'm gonna make this one quick. I know you're familiar with the ancient one.
I pushed your astral form out of your physical form.
What's in that tea? Psilocybin? LSD?
It's just tea. With a little honey.
Well, in the comics, she was a he, and he was Asian. Yeah, that one was really bad. That one was really bad. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Do me a favor, hit subscribe. I greatly appreciate the support. And also, hit me up in the comments. Let me know which comic book characters I missed. I know there's a whole bunch. I just kept it to 10. Thank you, guys.